Hey guys, Zach from Kubota Lynchburg here. Today we're going to do a little bit of a longer video and talk about the 3 transmission types that we offer from Kubota. So we're going to talk about the Hydrostatic Transmission, the gear drive transmission, the glide shift transmission, which is also sort of a shuttle shift transmission. So we're going to talk about those 3 styles of transmissions, and I have with me today Leah, who is our marketing director. She's usually the one behind the camera. We're getting assisted by Emily doing that today, and Leah's also my wife. So today, this is going to be the first time she's ever going to drive a tractor, which may be surprising since I've been doing this for years. This is the first time she's ever going to drive a tractor. So we're going to do a little bit of learning today. We're going to start with her testing all 3 transmission types, and we're going to go over what it is. What is a hydrostatic transmission? What is the gear drive? And what is the glide shift? So we're going to start with a little BX tractor. This is the smallest one we offer. This has that hydrostatic transmission from Kubota. What a hydrostat means is it's very easy to go forward and reverse. There's no shifting, no clutching, no gears. It is a simple forward and reverse pedal on here where she can push forward or she can push back with her heel and make it go very easily. So this is a very user-friendly, simple, easy system. On this one, it's got a high range and a low range. So we've got the turtle range, the rabbit range, low range for heavy work, the rabbit, of course, for speed and everything like that. So probably for her first time ever, we'll go ahead and put it in the turtle range or leave it in neutral for you. And of course, you've got 4-wheel drive and 2-wheel drive and all those kind of fun things. But what we're gonna do, Leah, I'm gonna go ahead and start it up for you. Actually, you can go ahead and start it up. Your parking brake is gonna be on this side. So once you start it up, you're gonna hit that and your parking brake's gonna come off, and then you can hold it towards that. Take that pedal off, here you go. And then go ahead and let off the pedal for me. So when she lets off the pedal on a hydrostat, it stops itself, which is nice. So on a hydrostatic transmission, because of pressure in the fluid, it'll slow down and stop itself. You're not going to continue running or rolling. So forward and reverse is very easy to use. There's a couple different pedal systems to it, but again, pretty easy. So is that pretty easy to use? Pretty simple, basic? Yep. Okay, well that's the easy one. So go ahead and put your parking brake back on, hold that down, and then let go of the brake. There you go. So parking brake's back on, always trying to be safe. But again, you can see that was easy. I went over the very basics with her before I started the video, but she had never even run one before. Very simple. So now we're gonna hop over to the L series, which is gonna be a gear drive. So bigger tractor, a little bit more of a workhorse and less of a around the house small property one. So this one, and I will also forewarn you, she has never driven a manual car, only automatic. So this is gonna be a whole new experience. So hopefully she doesn't run it into the woods. So on this one, we're going to have gears and shifting and clutching. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 gears here, and basically you're just gonna move between your gears and you'll feel it kind of click in. And then on this side, we have the clutch. So this is an 8-speed transmission forward. You have 4 gears in the center, and you've got a high and a low range next to her right here with a neutral and reverse. So this is a simple basic L2501 with a 8 speeds forward and 4 speeds reverse. So right now we're in neutral here. We got high and low, so when you go forward, you're just gonna go into low. But to start the tractor, you have to have the clutch in. Go ahead and slide your seat probably a little bit more forward on that side. There we go. She's short, so we'll slide the seat forward. So you're gonna have to put your clutch in and have it in neutral in a gear drive. So you almost always, not always, but almost always in a gear drive have to have your transmission type in neutral to start. So clutch is all the way down. Go ahead and hold your brakes down as well so you don't go sliding forward. Both pedals, they're combined. There you go, your parking brake's off now. Go ahead and start it up. So if you let off the clutch right now, go ahead and let off the clutch, open it. Nothing's gonna happen because they're in neutral. Go ahead and push the clutch in. You're gonna shoot the gear here. Second gear there. So go ahead and put it into low. And when you let off the clutch, you're gonna slowly start moving forward. And when you push the clutch back in, it's gonna slow down. And then you can hit your brakes and slow down. Now both, clutch in, and brakes. Nope, clutch in, hold the brakes. Back to neutral, yep. You can tell it takes a little bit more experience, especially if you've never driven a manual car. But you clutch in, you choose your gear, and then you choose your high and low range. So if we wanted to go reverse, slide it back to reverse, and now you're gonna go in reverse. You never want to hold your brakes down while the tractor is going. You will right, let up. All right, now our parking brake is back set. So it takes a little while to get used to. On a gear drive, choosing your ranges, choosing your high and low, learning to clutch and slowly release. And if she had it all the way throttled up and she had it, in high, this thing would have shot forward. So that's why I chose not to throttle it up. But again, it takes a little bit more time, but a gear drive will actually give you more power. A hydrostat, easier to use, easier for anybody to hop on, a little bit safer. A gear drive will give you a little bit more power for pulling or pushing. And you've got all these options and things you have to learn. Once you do learn it, it is pretty easy. So then we're gonna go over to what is called the glide shift transmission. This is not as popular of a transmission. Kubota offers a couple models with it. It's honestly my personal favorite model is the glide shift transmission. I like the way it runs and works. It's very smooth, easy to operate. If we come in here and we look at all these gears right here, you can see a 1 through 12 numbering right here. This has 12 speeds, whereas that only has 8. And the nice thing is to switch between those speeds, you don't have to clutch. So as you're driving, you can literally just push forward. The tractor will pause a little bit, catch that gear and go without using the clutch pedal. Again, to start up the tractor, you have to have your clutch in and you hold your brakes and everything like that. And you choose your high and low range, but this doesn't have a reverse knob on it. You've got forward and reverse here on your column, which is very common in these bigger tractors. We kind of call that a shuttle shift. You can push forward, comes back to neutral, and then push reverse. And that's how you switch between your transmission going forward or reverse. So we're gonna start in basically first gear. Very low range, very, very slow. Let's see, is there keys in it? No. Start you in reverse too, so you don't hit that other tractor.
That's smart.
So go ahead and clutch in. Always clutch in before you start. It has to be in neutral. So again, everything has to be in neutral to start up. Slide your seat forward if you need to. There we go. Kubota does make it easy to operate. Sliding seats. This actually even has a tilt steering column for shorter or taller people. Makes it very easy to use. So go ahead and clutch all the way to the pedal, to the floor. Go ahead and start that. And at this point, you're going to go ahead and keep the clutch in, and you're going to pull it back up and back to reverse. Your park brake off, go ahead and brake pedal hard. There you go. All right. Now you can gently come on back. First gear, low range, very slow, which is nice for some operation. Very easy. Now as you're going, keep it going. No, you can go ahead and leave it. Go ahead and push this up to 2 or 3. And it'll speed up a little bit faster. Notice how it pauses and then catches. That's why I love the glide shift. There's no need to clutch or anything like that. Now go into forward, come forward. You can throttle up and clutch in and brake. Don't hit the other tractor, please. So it's very easy to switch between those transmissions. There you go, back to neutral, then you can turn it off. That's the glide shift. And again, they call it a glide shift because while you're gliding, you can literally shift between 1, 2, 3, 4, all up to 12 gears forward to get very high speed or very low speed without having to worry. A little bit easier than the gear drive transmission, a little bit smoother than the gear drive, a little bit more expensive than the gear drive, but it is a very nice transmission style to it. So that's your hydrostat. First time tractor owner, easy to use, easy to run. Gear drive, a little bit more difficult to learn, but if you've run a manual car before, pretty easy. Glide shift, how was that comparable?
It's the best one.
That was the best one? That's my favorite one too. It's the easiest one. You get more power out of it. It's very easy to use, but the hydrostat is friendly, but this is also friendly. So not very popular, but consider giving that a shot. So, those are your transmission styles. That's basically how you run and operate each one. For those people out there who are nervous running the first time tractor, this is her first time. It's easy. Luckily, she's got an expert teaching her, but at the same time, it's very easy. Don't get nervous. It's simple. You're not going to hurt anything. All right, guys, so that was a little bit about our transmissions. We do offer other options. For example, the hydrostat on a BX or a B or an L series is a simple hydrostatic transmission. If you were to go to one of the grand L's in a hydrostat, we would have a Hydrostat Plus transmission, a very deluxe, a very high end with 6 ranges and rabbit and turtle speed on the steering column. Very nice end. There's also some other transmission styles and things that you need to know. Basically, when you're talking about synchro shuttles and shuttle shifts and all these other details, don't really need to know all that off the top of the bat, but you can do the research on it if you're interested in seeing. These are your 3 simple basic styles to just keep in mind, but there are other options out there. Thanks guys, tune in. Always ask your salespeople, of course, which one is best for you and your application, and go from there.